Students, welcome to Masterclass. At my command, we strike. Produced by Victoire. The Masters of Wrestling gives a special thanks to Mr. Jesse Hernandez.
Students, welcome back to another episode of Masterclass. So many of you out there might be wondering, what does it take to become a truly talented, polished, great professional wrestler? Well, we're going to find that out right here today on Masterclass. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the likes, share with your friends and family. Consider becoming a member by hitting the join button. You'll only find that on your TV screens or on your computer screens. For some reason, YouTube won't allow it on the mobile version of it, but that's by the by. I am the Master Emir, along with my co-star today, ladies and gentlemen. He is Anthony Idol.
That's right, the neon phenomenon, the incredible one himself, Anthony Idol. You want a brief synopsis?
Yep.
Originally trained in Tijuana, Mexico, circa 19, and had no idea what was going on in Mexico, had no idea how well I was being treated and being groomed very nicely.
Yeah.
Totally botched that up. Left, went to UPW. Worked with pretty much everybody you've seen on TV for the last 20 years. Took a bad bump out of the ring, was not having much success or fun, did not know how to get along to go along, so I quit.
Mm-hmm.
I sat out for about 10 years. It really bothered me that I quit. Came back to SoCal Pro Wrestling at the end of 2013 and actually debuted, being actually booked in 2014.
Okay. And you mentioned UPW. Sorry to jump in there. Do you mean with UPW with Rick Bassman?
Yes, sir.
What year were you there, Anthony?
Let's see. I want to say 2000, definitely pre 9/11. So I was there before. Samoa Joe was there. The Miz was there. John Cena had just left. John Heinenreich, Nathan Jones, just numerous people. Jungle Girl, so many people, man. Like it was everybody from TV.
Yeah.
And before I restarted, it was looking back and realizing like I wasn't the worst dude in that room.
All right. Yeah.
And if everybody in that room was working in television or movies or wrestling professionally, I'm like, I should probably try this again. I don't think it was that bad. I get a little bit more how to get along to go along.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this again. So I got back in at 2013, 2014.
Yeah, no, that's a really cool story. I'm glad that you went back in and followed your dream because obviously, I mean, I presume it was a dream for you. It wasn't just, yeah, okay. So what got you attracted to it in the first place? Who were some of your big heroes when you were a kid?
I don't remember the exact start.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely dyed in the wool Hulkamaniac. I still have my little blue dumbbells from the Hulkamania workout set. I know that my aunt rented WrestleMania 1 in the summertime when we went for a visit. So it's probably right around 1985 that I really dialed in.
Yeah.
I know I was watching before that, but that's when I vividly remember at the end of WrestleMania 1, Hulk Hogan makes his pec bounce.
Yeah.
And I was locked in. I had to do that. Mastered the pec bounce before I went home for summer vacation. And it sort of started from there. I was drawing the pictures, and like I said, I was on the weights immediately, like from 5th grade on.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought about. And I would, from that day, that's what I want to be when I grow up. I had, other ideas, jobs. There was a show with Lyle Alzado called Learning the Ropes, which was about a teacher who wrestled at night to make ends meet. And lo and behold, I am now a teacher who wrestles to make the ends meet, I guess.
Well, I will say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put a link in the description of this video to SoCal Pro because obviously we were just there this weekend. Great, talented group of individuals. Great production from top to bottom. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen out there who aren't familiar with Anthony's work, they're going to get to see it, Anthony, right after this once we put the link in the description. But so 2014, so you come back in. Now, again, you can't really see, well, you can kind of see it on screen, but Anthony is a very intimidating individual, very large individual. Anthony, give us your stats.
Billed at 6'4" on 276 pounds, and
Yeah.
both of those are approximately 100% true. Uh, 1994, 1995 slam dunk competitor.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay, so more accolades here.
oh yeah, All-American in college football at Whittier College as an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Uh, and that kind of delves right into the start because when I was a kid, the announcers were always putting over this as like a tough guy sport. Like, oh, they said Jim Neidhart got kicked off the Raiders for playing too rough. And,
Yeah.
Ernie Ladd had played pro football. And superstar Billy Graham had been in the CFL. Tito Santana played football. Tully Blanchard played football. Dusty Rhodes played football. Steve Williams played football. Ric Flair played football. Vern Gagne played football. Greg Gagne played football. So I was like, oh, okay. So if you want to be a tough, badass wrestler, you got to be a badass football player and or an amateur wrestler because I knew that Ric Flair had done a little bit of amateur wrestling. So
Yeah.
I dove into those things almost immediately at the start of my fandom.
Yeah, now that makes sense because that was even Lex Luger. I don't know if you mentioned Lex in there. Of course, Ron Simmons as well. You know,
Walter McDaniel.
yeah, you've got, I mean, the list goes on. But it's true. The difference back then, and I don't know, maybe we can talk about that today, is because a lot of guys were taken from those tough guy sports back then. You know, not necessarily maybe they didn't dream of becoming wrestlers, but they were plucked or they were plucked from a gym. You know, oh, you've got a great look. You should come into pro wrestling. You know what I mean? Whereas nowadays, obviously, it's shifted a lot. We've got a lot of wrestling schools now. It's attracting a lot of fans, people that have been interested who never thought they could make it, and now they're getting their time to shine on the indies and now in the big leagues as well. But you said something interesting off camera, and I want you to bring that up because many people think to become a top talented pro wrestler, you've got to be super athlete or you have to be super talented. But I want you to give us your pearls of wisdom, Anthony, because you said something that really inspired me there.
Wrestling is not a talent show or even an exhibition of talent. It is a connection game.
Hmm.
Uh, we, I think it's very hard to make the connection solely being technically excellent. When I think about technically excellent being the appeal, I immediately think of the Dynamite Kid.
Yeah.
And the Dynamite Kid is not a repeatable process for normal humans.
I
It's
know.
certainly appealing, but the toll it takes on a body and the ability for people to excel in that capacity of work, I think is limited.
Hmm.
Um, More power to people who do that and delve into that. I think that style of work has become nearly ubiquitous. It's everywhere, um, and I think it's harder to separate yourself because now we're talking about degrees of excellence.
Yeah.
Not that someone isn't technically proficient, but now we're talking about which weird Oreo is the best Oreo, even though they're all Oreos.
Yeah, yeah. I see where you're going there. No, but it makes sense. Like when I watch you, I mean, it's an entertainment, it's a spectacle, right? It's an attraction. You make that connection with the audience. You always have from the moment you come out. So maybe explain that a little bit more for layman's terms, if somebody doesn't understand the connection
Oh, we're gonna
part.
get into the cosmic thoughts and feelings. That's boy. I don't know if I could pin that down. That's 100% my goal. I want to make that connection.
Hmm.
How do I make that happen? I am on a deep psychological trip with that one.
Okay.
So I will usually throw on something old where somebody is absolutely vibrating from through the screen.
Hmm.
And when I think about that, and I know I'm going back to stuff before I was even born, but when I watched superstar Billy Graham enter into Madison Square Garden, and it's specifically that run when he was the WWF champion.
Hmm.
Um, he is on such a high vibration, such a high frequency of connection, and
Hmm.
and really the magic is believing your own bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, but he is vibrating at such a frequency, everybody feels it.
Yeah.
So I get really focused on that. And what is my emotional goal for this match? And sometimes there's not a necessary story or something that connects to that match, but then maybe my goal might become to connect with the people.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to vibrate that. I'm trying to feel that so much it emanates through my skin.
Hmm.
In between that, to get started with that when it wasn't really in practice, I literally began saying to myself, people, people, people. So I'm coming through the curtain. great. I'm not storming down to the ring. Sometimes that's appropriate,
Hmm.
but I'm through the curtain. People, people, people.
Yeah.
I hit the ring. People, people, people. I do a move. People, people, people. So once that became the habit of interacting with the people, and it doesn't mean turning or yelling or screaming, it just means a moment
Yeah.
for them to see your face, to digest.
Hmm.
Um, and sometimes you think, oh man, that's not really working, or I don't know. But occasionally you'll hear somebody comment like, oh, I know it's on because I saw the crazy eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, they can see me from there. All right, it's working. So being genuine and genuinely reacting to what's happening in the ring, I'm living it. So I
Yeah.
just want to react to what's happening. If it hurts, then if it's supposed to hurt, then I'm selling it. If it doesn't really register, then I don't really register. But like I'm just trying to be organic in that thing. But as far as the connection thing is, be on that vibration,
Mhm.
allow them the opportunity.
Yeah.
You can't be moving so quick that we don't allow them that opportunity to see you, or even just, yep, that's right. Yep, I heard you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That little bit, a point, just to
Yeah.
give that someone that opportunity. Or you drop that elbow smash, you find that girl in the front row. Why don't you give me a little text? Call me. All right, baby. Not do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
just that little bit it separates you.
Yeah.
It's something that people don't get. Roddy Piper.
Right. Yeah. Perfect
He talked
example.
about being isolated and talking to a fan, and he said, oh, you came in, you cleaned house, and you were left bloody, but you just kicked everybody's ass out of the ring, and you got up in the corner. He said like something to the effect of like, where's the justice?
Hmm.
And that had resonated so much with this fan, it meant everything to him. And Piper was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But he's organic in the moment, reacting to it, being himself.
Yeah.
That's the connection. It's the organic connection. People know phony.
Yeah. Yeah.
People know phony.
Yeah.
Uh, you can act like a scary, scary person, and it might be believable. It might not be. It might be really, really phony.
Mhm.
I am uncomfortable sitting in my home when I see Jacob Fatu.
Oh,
I
you
don't feel
are?
safe. No, I don't. I don't feel safe, man.
Yeah.
Something's
Yeah.
going to happen. I'm uneasy.
Yeah.
I'm unwell, and that is organic. That is that dude's energy coming through the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think those things are your true talents. And everybody like kind of wants to be a tough badass.
Hmm.
That may
That's
not
true.
necessarily be your strength. You
Yeah.
may be adorable.
Yeah.
You may be naturally funny.
Yeah.
You may have charisma that exceeds your physical capabilities. If
Hmm.
you don't learn how to lean into that and try to be somebody else, aka the Dynamite Kid, you might be missing out on something.
Very true. It's very true. Is the term a little bit of a cookie cutter syndrome comes to mind here, and that's really what separated wrestling back in the 80s and 90s. Again, not all of it. Again, I don't want to, not saying all of it, but there was a big separation back then because guys really leaned into their character. Like you said, when I watched Jake the Snake, he was one of my huge inspirations. The way he spoke, his promos, you believed every word that Jake was saying. Even as people have put down Warrior, but I think the same thing. Warrior truly believed that he was this ultimate warrior. And if you look back now, I mean, he was my favorite, Ultimate Warrior, but that's it's like almost like method acting. It's like really truly becoming that individual. But you said something that inspired me there because even on Saturday before we were going to do the show, I woke up in the morning and I'm a man of faith, Anthony. I think you know that. And I prayed and I said, God, let me be of service to those family and children that are going to be in attendance. Let me make it all about them, right? And that's essentially what you're saying. Make that connection to the fans. So, but then you also do that in your personal life now with kids because you're a teacher, right? So how important is it to you to be a role model in all of this?
I put off being a teacher for a long time
Hmm.
because, well, one, I was, pretty successful personal trainer. I was really enjoying that.
Hmm.
Um, but part of me was like, I can't get in front of those kids and tell them to chase their dreams when I haven't chased mine. So it became a lot easier after I started wrestling,
Yep.
to say that. And I really enjoy having my secret identity.
Hmm.
Um, but when I think about being a role model, it's not really about preaching. It's kind of about sharing,
Hmm.
and it's really more about actions than it's about words.
Yeah.
So in my class, uh, when I have an opportunity, which is rare.
Mhm.
I'll talk about nutrition and I'll talk about weightlifting because I know some of my kids are interested in that. And if they're not interested in that, they may become interested in it.
Yeah.
But they're not going to get that input anywhere else in school. So when I have those opportunities, I share that stuff. And lo and behold, kids have started asking, hey, can we talk about working out again? Can you talk about nutrition again? I had a kid walk into my class from the hall that I don't have in any class.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said, hey, man, can I talk to you about working out?
Yeah.
So when I'm trying to exemplify those things, because those things are important to me,
Yeah.
I think the role, I'm going to find my hole where I fit as a role model. So
Yeah.
it's not something that I pursue actively every day. I want to be an example. I don't
Right.
necessarily think I have to be a role model. I
Right.
need to exemplify the things that make me a leader, that
Yeah.
show people that leaders got to do things that are unpopular. Sometimes
Mhm.
that means following the rules. Sometimes that means breaking the rules.
Mhm.
Um, but it's more important to me to exemplify those things than to really preach about them.
Hmm. And what about in terms of wrestling? Because I mean, I saw you in action on Saturday again, even backstage. I mean, you are a natural leader. I think that probably comes in from your teaching ability. You know, you're so good at it. But like I saw the way you were in the locker room with everybody. Do you enjoy that aspect of it? Of now, with the wisdom that you've gained, being able to share that with others and help them, you know, polish themselves up and give them direction and stuff like that. Does that appeal to you a lot?
I talked to a lot of boys this weekend, and I never really, in my mind, positioned myself specifically as their trainer.
Hmm.
Because I did lead a class for SoCal Pro, and I did have a lot of input, and I would show up and be in other people's classes.
Yeah.
Um, and I was just kind of thought of myself as this guy who's helping out,
Hmm.
and it's really for me. Talking about what I see and providing kind of tough love because a lot of people will tell you nice things to give you a warm fuzzy, but it's not really helping you.
Hmm.
Wrestling a lot of times is about taking stuff away. Less is more.
Yeah.
So having those honest conversations with people and then, toot my own horn, taking the advice and it working out for them.
Mm.
I got to hear from a lot of those people today how much it meant to them. And that meant a lot to me in turn.
Yeah.
Um, so seeing people's strengths and helping them highlight their strengths, I think that's really kind of more where my strengths lies. Not being the most technical wrestler, that's not really my forte. I
Mhm.
do delve into that stuff because I got to be better than that when I'm teaching other people.
Yeah.
Um, but I think my strength lies in seeing other people's strengths.
Yeah. No, no, I definitely I saw that. I saw that your ability to do that is great. But another ability that you have, because I want to keep highlighting as well your in-ring performance, is you were able to pull off that moonsault this past week. And I saw your post there, and obviously, you know, congratulations. I mean, that's not an easy task. Not, you know, for anybody. I think anybody was, you know, would have some slight reservation about going off the top turnbuckle. But at your height and size, you know, so how did that come about? What was that? What was the why? Let's just say
And,
why.
well, I mean, that really popped off in the '90s and the strong part of my fandom. Um, so it always looked cool.
Mhm.
If I'm being honest, I really kind of prefer the standing moonsault press that Shawn Michaels used to do. I
Okay.
thought that
Yep.
was really, I'm not doing that. Uh, it got really super popular. I liked it when Vader and Bam Bam Bigelow did it. That was really cool.
Mhm.
But I did not see it for myself until I saw Terry Funk do it in
Mhm.
ECW.
Mhm.
And I loved his ugly duckling half three-quarter turn moonsault, Sabu's moonsault. Those two are my favorite moonsaults.
Yeah.
So it just got stuck in my mind that I wanted that to happen for me. So I've been chasing it for about a decade and finally landed it last Saturday.
Yeah, and it was perfect. I mean, honestly, I mean, you landed perfect. Were you trepidatious going up, or had you practiced
I had
enough?
no idea that was happening, brother. Uh, I hit that boot on Matthias and planted him, and I started to position him. And in my head, I was like, "All right, cool. I'm going to do the Vader bomb."
Yeah.
And like I know it's happening quick, or well, probably not that quick with me. But in my mind, I'm kind of having this conversation with myself. I was like, "Brother."
Here it comes.
Got to the second rope. I was like, you know what? I think it's time. I was like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Let's go. Got up there and just boom and go. So I was so happy.
Yeah.
I know that Matthias kicked out. That was kind of a bummer, but I was so happy that I finally stuck that some bitch.
Yeah.
That's why I posted it.
Yeah, no, it was an incredible move, absolutely incredible. Of course, we're going to have underneath your name. There's going to be a link to your Instagram handle for everybody out there to go over and make sure you follow Anthony Idol and check out that clip right there. But having said that, again, you're putting it into a match. We talk about the organicness. A lot of matches now are just planned out beat for beat. There's almost no wiggle room for mistake. And then if someone forgets, where do they pivot from there? So, but now do you prefer the old school? Hey, this is the finish. That's it. Couple of little spots in the match, and that's it. The rest we'll figure it out. How do you prepare?
I think um, word got out about me through the underground jungle drum beat. And people started approaching me about trying to do it that way. And I sort of felt like some people wanted to take it on themselves as like a test.
Hmm.
Personally, I don't mind planning a little bit. I get a little uptight if we plan it A to Z and it's a kung fu fight
Yeah.
because I'll get super nervous and it becomes like a quiz to me where I'm moving spot to spot to spot rather than interacting.
Yeah.
So I try if someone prefers that style, I'll try to like call a few things kind of landmarks and give me some room to interpolate and freestyle because all the magic happens in the bullshit where it comes to me right in mid-flight. Like
Yeah.
that's really where I'm best.
Yeah.
Um, some people that's not their flow. So
Right.
I've tried to bridge that gap with the sun somewhere halfway.
Hmm.
I have occasionally called it A to Z if I have like a really strong visualization of what I'm trying to create, and that
Hmm.
doesn't mean it's 100% my way. It can always what about this and what about that. Good
Hmm.
ideas happen when that happens. But generally speaking, I really like it to really flow. I want to be in a flow state. So I've had some really fantastic matches with only a few people in the 100%. Here's the finish. Let's go.
Yeah.
But that does happen, and that's my preferred style. And that to me is the most rewarding and the most fun when it really really works. But I'll be the first to admit that I've had some stinkers because of it.
Yeah, no, I can understand. I'm sure, but I think organically, like even when you watch some of the stuff we grew up watching, a lot of that was called on the fly, and there really was those moments for pause. They really took that time. They looked at the audience, like you said. If you're in your head, even if I was going to cut a promo and it was handed to me verbatim, I'd be thinking for the next word. I'd be thinking, what's the next? I wouldn't be in the moment to pause and think, huh, because your mind can go somewhere else. This is the same in the ring, to giving that breath, right? And you mentioned about taking time too. That's something else, not rushing. This move to that move to this move to that.
To your point about the scripted promo, I think we miss out on that genuine organic feel. No, I know we're not going to go back to 100% unscripted promos, especially with the television product. I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
But a little bit of leeway for those guys to be themselves because some of those territory guys, you have no idea why they are so over,
Hmm.
other than they have somehow developed this appeal. And some dudes can't talk, can barely string words together, but they're whatever. People like it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Some people stumble over the words, but they have so much charisma spitting them out. People like it,
yeah.
and we miss that when we go wholly scripted, or when they do the 3/4 angle and they're I'm watching this TV over here, but I'm not reading this at all. Boy, that gets stiff. Who remembers when the WWE teleprompter went out and everybody did get the freestyle? That was awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, but I think pick and choose. I think some people do get to freestyle, and that's probably best.
yeah,
Um, but I think bullet points
yeah.
would probably
Bullet.
do for most people. And
Yeah,
let them stumble, let them fumble. They're gonna grow.
yeah,
They're gonna learn. They're gonna get better. And I think that's the best. That'd be the best situation. But I understand TV is important. Got to get certain stuff across. It really doesn't need to be written by AI. I
no,
really would prefer bullet points so people at least say words that are within their vocabulary.
exactly. Know what you're saying because again,
Yeah.
believability. If I say a word that's been scripted and I don't know what the heck it means, it's not going to mean anything coming out. And people are going to see it on my face. They're going to
But
see.
even there, I'd rather enjoy an organic malapropism than listen to someone stumble over a perfect word scientifically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who have been some of your greatest opponents throughout the past few years?
Too many, man. I enjoy my matches like they're my children, so I get really uptight when we talk about this.
Hmm.
And then I have matches that I adore for different reasons. Or sometimes when like the light bulb came on for me, I'm like, oh, that's special.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I didn't get to wrestle Julius Judiz a lot, but I wrestled him when he started to get going with the tag team, and it was the first time it really clicked for me. Oh, I got to get this babyface over,
Hmm.
and I called a bunch of spots for him to get over and do all his fancy stuff, and I was like, I'm really enjoying myself.
Yeah.
And he and I could talk about that moment. It's whip, duck, the boot, hit me with the Shawn Michaels forearm, go up to the top, hit me with the top rope drop kick. I'm gonna bump out. You run, hit the tumbleweed, body press on me outside the ring. All right, kid, go fire him up. And I just remember that vividly. And I was like, okay, man, I quarterbacked it. I definitely scored a touchdown right there. I did my job. I got my baby face over. So that in particular sticks out to me.
Yeah.
Had an accidental banger with Judiz at a taco fest where I was definitely not thinking, hey, let's work our asses off. Uh, and then they're like, hey, you got the champ. I was like, man, I got to work so hard. And dude, I love that match.
Yeah.
I'm not that good, and that dude dragged the good out of me.
Yeah.
Brandon Gatson has dragged better matches out of me than I thought I was capable.
Yeah.
Um, Raunchy Rico is somebody that I had matches with where we called nothing. Here's the finish. See you out there.
Yeah.
And dude, we were elated. I can just remember the happiness coming out of us afterwards because it was just like, dude, I don't know how we connected on that, but the people were with it and we didn't talk, and that shit was wonderful.
Yeah.
Richie Slade, it's
Yeah.
super smooth, super unselfish,
Yeah.
lets me do my thing in complete flow state. I always love that.
Yeah.
Um, J2 Mattioli, we got to talk a little bit more, but the physicality, the physical click, we had really great chemistry. I totally love that. Had a match with Super Beetle, had to drop the American title to him,
Mhm.
and all I said was, "Fight me, Beetle."
And that was it. Just
That's
got
it.
roasted
I
off.
said, "Kick out on one every time, but fight me, Beetle," and that was it.
Yeah.
And that some bitch came out and fought me, and I'm so proud of him, and I adore that match. And that's really kind of early in my career,
Yeah.
but it sticks out.
Yeah.
Um, these recent matches with Matthias are really important to me. So
Mhm.
the match with Simon Miller is really important to me.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of matches that hold a lot of weight over this
Yeah.
time. Definitely some people I wrestled a lot. Rancho Rico, J2, I wrestled those guys a lot. Wrestled Nick Lovin a lot, though. And
Mhm.
Nick Lovin helped me lower my anxiety. So I have so many good feelings about wrestling. It's really tough, man. I really do enjoy them all. Even the stinkers had some gem bits in them where I could steal and get some other stuff. Some guys are gone that were supposed to be, the future of wrestling, like Chris Bryant had fantastic chemistry with Chris Bryant. Um, we're moving on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I've really been lucky. I
Yeah.
had fun matches with Peter Avalon, Brody King, um, really good matches with the Honky Tonk Man. I've really been lucky, man. Really,
Yeah.
really lucky.
No, I was going to say that sounds like a great list of true talent right there. Real blessing there. What about producing side of things, though? Do you think that's something that you would like to explore at some point in the future? Because I mean, you've got so much wisdom. Would you consider doing a production role, producing other guys, but like an agent role?
My hope would be that one of these kids gets signed, and
Yeah.
in the midst of their travels, because they're so over at WWE or AEW or what have you, they go, I got a guy. He's always got an idea. He's super helpful. Gave everybody that, what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
that would be fantastic. Falling into that where I could actually, get paid,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Investing some time would be some thoughts, investing some money in my own project, probably not.
Mhm.
Helping out on someone else's project, no problem. All
Yeah.
for it. I love doing it. Can't really help myself from doing it.
Yeah.
So I love sharing ideas. Like I said, really think one of my strengths is seeing people for their strengths.
Mhm.
And there's to the aspect of coaching, especially with wrestling, we have so many dudes who never got their attaboys, who never got that pat on the back, who
Mhm.
never got told good job, who
Mhm.
never got told I'm proud of you.
Mhm.
And dudes need that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all tough and we can all, act like we're all good and all keep going. But man, being told, hey, good job, you're a good boy.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shit means something, man. That
Yeah.
means
It should.
something. And I think men especially need that reaffirmation.
Mhm.
So that aspect of my coach is also real important. You can do this. I'm
Mhm.
proud of you. I see the
Yeah.
differences in you. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I need an effort. Thank you for that effort. Just that pat on the back. I trust you. I need you to be responsible for this.
Yeah.
Those things, those are going to make people grow as people and as wrestlers. That's really the goal with coaching.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% because I've often thought about that. I got a proud of you moment on Saturday night after we did our show, and it felt good because again, it's like you said, if you're just moving in the motion, yeah, we can just say, "Oh, oh, I'm going to do better, it's me against me. But if no one is ever saying anything to you, or it's totally always negative, what kind of reinforcement is that? That's not, you know, you've always got to look for the good. Yes, you can coach somebody and say you need to do this and this and this, but I'd much rather follow it up. But you did this fantastic out of all of it, and then do this. I think, well, I think you've got the qualities for that, Anthony. And you certainly, like I said, you helped me greatly on Saturday night, just with a few things that you said to me. It was a real encouragement, and I felt great afterwards. So, true talent. What have you got coming up in the near future that people could come and see you?
Oh, I'm excited, man. Let's see. October 25th, I'm going to be out in Las Vegas for, man, I can't remember.
He's that busy, ladies and gentlemen.
Edit that out. It's on my schedule. I did tweet it. It's going to be on my Instagram. I'm going to post it in my story tonight. I cannot remember. Please don't kill me. No, I'm going to be at Container Park Wrestling on, shoot, where's the Golden Nugget? Over there on that street.
Is that
anyway? That was terrible. Super excited about November 8th. I'm wrestling in Phoenix for IZW. It is Navajo Warriors retirement tour, and he is bringing in Samoa Joe.
Okay.
I will embarrass myself by telling Samoa Joe that I was at UPW with him. I distinctly remember the day I was full on trading forums with this dude in class.
Yeah.
Because he's already Samoa Joe, and he's Samoa Joe to me. Right. And I'm like, holy shit, this is really happening. And at some point, I scooped him and body slammed him.
Yeah.
And he said, "You picked me up like a child." And dude, I was 10 feet tall and bulletproof after he said that to me, and I've hung on to that compliment my entire life up to this moment, sharing it with you now.
Yeah.
But like the little attaboys, they mean something to you, dude. You hang on to them; they keep you going.
Yeah, that's it. So you're going to be seeing. So November. Anything else coming up in November? Close to this. Obviously, we'll release this week. Anything else in the month of November?
November 21st. I'm going to be back in the EWF in a 6-man tag team match with my man, Trailer King, and SoCal Crazy as we take on Tommy Wilson, Big Bad Michael Badwolf, and a mystery man to be named later.
Okay, all right. So we got some hot and heavy action coming up. Of course, you're going to be able to find that anybody when you go on to Instagram, and you can follow Anthony on Instagram and check out all the latest. And of course, we'll put a link in the description of this video from this past weekend's SoCal Pro event, which was absolutely, like I said, absolutely phenomenal. Any closing statements, Anthony, for the audience?
Let's see.
Pearls of wisdom.
Oh boy, now you're putting me on the spot. Wisdom.
You have wisdom, my brother. You do.
Well, I just want to say to the boys, I hope I dropped enough names so that you guys will watch this and retweet it maybe, because I said some nice things about you. Mm-hmm. And to anybody else who's watching this, especially the boys, just remember, I never claim to be good, but I am magical.
And that indeed, I can attest to that. All right, students of the game, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you keep tuning in. This has been Masterclass. I'm the Master Amir, along with Anthony Idol, and we'll see you next time right here on Masterclass. God bless everybody.
See ya.
Fans, the time has come for you to flex your appreciation in style. The Masters of Wrestling delivers the most truthful pro wrestling content week in, week out. And now we want you to show your support wherever you go. Power and Glory, the podcast t-shirts. Order yours now. Styling, the podcast t-shirts. Order yours now. To order your t-shirt and for shipping information, use the email address in the description of this video. The Masters of Wrestling. Order your t-shirts now.